Star Wars Outlaws' release date is now nearly upon us. It is nearly here. It is just around the corner, and I can feel the game forcing its way into my hands and onto my console as we speak. If you can't already tell, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so when I found out about this game back in 2021, I got excited. And then when I saw the showcasing at E3's 2023, I got hyped. I got hyped when I saw Kay Vess, a woman whose name is part boring one, part grammatical error. And then I got giddy when I saw Nyx, a little space Pikachu that she finds in a bin and enslaves and forces to do her bidding. And then all the reviews started coming out, and the trailers and the cinematics. I just bought into it 100%. I am willing this game to be good. I am wanting it to be good. I am needing it to be good. So I thought it'd be a great idea if I did a 7 things Star Wars Outlaws needs to be good video. And point number 1 is going to be good open worlds. Hiya, yes, slight interruption. Because I am a monumental genius, I have misplaced all the original footage for this bit of the video. So excuse me while I do a rapid reshoot, which will consist of me looking different, sounding different, and being shot different compared to the rest of what you are about to watch. Anyway, on with the rest of the video. This one kind of goes without having to say too much, because one thing this game's been pushing a lot of is vast open explorable spaces, vast open world. And if those environments are a bit poopy, then the game is going to fall a bit flat. And I really, really don't want that. But Ubisoft has got a really good reputation for open worlds. Games like Far Cry 5 and 6, the Ghost Recon games, Watch Dogs 1, 2 and Legion, and Division 1 and 2. And all of those environments are fantastic. When I'm playing Division 2, I look at New York City, even though it's based in Washington, and go, yes, I want to live there. That was a bit over the top. Okay, back on point. I look at those cities, I look at the locations of the map and say, yes, I want to go there, do that, there. And point I say, and it draws me in. Even if I'm not doing anything in it, I want to go there. They are beautiful maps, beautiful environments, and they're so explorable. And there's always something to discover or something to find, and it's perfect. Unlike, say, I don't know, Starfield? Many worlds. Many worlds. All of them are dull and boring. You look left, it's nothing but grey. You look right, it's still nothing, but maybe a different shade of grey. And the only thing to do is to traverse this vast nothingness, doing nothing, for quite some time, to get to a location that is also nothing. They did, and yeah. I don't see how they went, yes, that seems good, let's just fill it with bugger all and let the guys do traversal. It just didn't work for me. And the game itself, as far as I can tell, did fall a little bit flat. So, I'm going to say there's a correlation there. It's thin, it's a bit vague, but it's there.
As you adequately put, the problem is choice.
Multiple approaches. We know the game has dialogue and choice events very much like out of Mass Effect. You do a thing, you see the instant result of your choice, and then there are consequences to that later on in the game. They're not the things I'm talking about. I'm talking about freedom to approach any situation the way you want. So it could be a random event, it can be a mission, it can be a side quest, it can be anything. I want the option to either be stealthy if I want to be, or all gun-ho and explosions if I fancy it. Because I hate forced anything. Forced stealth, forced over-aggressiveness, forced passiveness. I don't want this in my game, because I always fail them, and it takes me ages to get past them. You can't be seen, you've just killed a guy, go back 2 hours to the nearest checkpoint or save area, which you completely forgot to do between now and then because you were focusing so hard on doing what we told you. Yeah, I don't want that. I hate forced stealth with a passion. I don't like being told to sneak for 2 hours, and then if I'm seen by anybody, or even hint at trying to kill somebody, then I have to go back those 2 hours because I forgot to save. It's the worst, and it needs removing from games now. I'm looking a lot at Watch Dogs 2 and Legion for this, because they gave you the ability to control vehicles, call gangs or police, detonate phones and grenades, control drones and bombs, and then some other good stuff on top. I want to be able to approach it as a sniper who fires rockets that hit cars, that run over pedestrians, that distract everybody, and do that. I want that. Basically, freedom, creativity, and in an open world. I mean, even Phantom Pain threw it in. And that's a tactical espionage game. Yeah, right. And I believe more games should have the option to drop massive boats through windows to crush everything inside without you ever having to fire a shot. Because not only is it fun, you get to see a physics engine wig the hell out, and it's hilarious.
I mean, how hard can it be?
I love LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's difficulty settings. It is the ultimate accessible difficulty setting thing. Basically, they really understood that they had a massive age range to focus this game at. So they made the difficulty settings very accessible. Essentially, you can make it like the original games, which was simple, fun, and ever so slightly easy on the combat front. Oh! Be ramped up for the more veteranated players or people who want to challenge, or an adult while playing LEGO who wants to play Dark Souls in the Star Wars universe. And that variation of how they did that, I think, was perfect, spot on, and needs to be implemented in more games. Another game that does difficulty tweaking quite well is Ark. And it's not tweaking. It's basically uncapped. Basically, you could vary a lot of things and make it so it was less grindy, more fun, more hard, more survivable, more customizable than anything that's come out of anything. And I want to see those sliders everywhere. And that, or whatever I was trying to say there. I know it's unrealistic to want that level of control, but I would love it. So modders, get on it. Thank you.
Space!
Space is big. Like, really big. It's also 99.9999% nothing.
Nothing to see here!
So making space and fun is, and will always be, very hard to do. So I think it's really important they get it right.
Nobody said it was easy.
And how do they do this, I hear you cry? Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Yes, it's hard, but it's not impossible. Games have managed to make space fun. Rebel Galaxy had 2 games that pulled it off successfully, and so did No Man's Sky eventually. And I guess for its sheer level of success, Elite Dangerous. And if they need a good point of reference, there are some terrific space environments in other Star Wars games. For instance, Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Squadrons have really good space pieces, mainly because that's where a lot of it is set. So they've made them really good. And then once they've got the space environment, I want them to be able to fill it with stuff that makes me happy. If they can do it on the ground, just apply the same formula to space. Mainly, I want to be able to see a ship, see a station, see a meteor base or a meteorite, and go up to it, land on it, do stuff, leave. Or if I choose to, go all Watch Dogs on it and hack it to pieces and then mug it. I want to be able to take on a Star Destroyer if I so choose. I want that. I also want to see, like, skirmishes between the Empire and the Rebellion, or the Rebellion chasing off pirates, or the Empire chasing off pirates, and all that good stuff. I want to pirate. I want to pirate. I want to be able to do that stuff too, you know. I think I got him enthusiastic about that one.
Let them fight.
I think it's safe to assume that in a Star Wars game, there's going to be combat. There's going to either be the big, open, sprawly battles that you see in the films, there may even be a Western-like shootout, or a good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Do people still say fisticuffs? Anyway, I think it's also safe to assume that the combat will play out very much like it does in Watch Dogs or Division 2. By that I mean you can utilize gadgets and gizmos and all sorts of other things, aka nicks. The only problem is the combat in Watch Dogs and Division is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, quite repetitive. It runs on the formula of see enemy, take cover, do something, shoot enemy till dead, win.
And I won.
You won!
And that on loop can get quite boring. It needs that GTA 5 style free roam combat thrown in with gadgets, thrown in with nicks, and thrown in with a companion should you have one with you. There was another point, but I've forgotten it.
Wonderful!
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
From everything we've seen so far, we know that this game is basically Watch Dogs 2 in space, which is not a bad thing. We also know that you can pick up Mr. Weaselton and lob him into a situation, and he will go and do whatever you've lobbed him in that direction to do. But rather concerningly, I don't see any upgradey elements in this game anywhere. Whether it be for your Space Ferret or Ned Flanders here. In God of War, you could at least upgrade Atreus in some form or another to be able to do things to assist you or to help take things out. And that is the most successful modern day franchise gamey thing of the modern era, if I'm right or wrong, I don't know, but it's bloody good. I mean, in Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, you had at least some elements of upgradiness, right? It's either not been shown because they don't want to reveal everything, or it's just not there. And that latter one is a real concern. There are a couple of things missing from the customizationable, upgradable list that I think should be in there. And one of them is Kay Vessa's blaster pistol. Because it's iconic to the character. Important. It needs to happen. Not just cosmetically, but how it fires, the way it fires, the power of its fire. It needs that. In Rogue One, Andor could take his blaster pistol and put it inside of a rifle frame and use it as a sniper rifle. I want to be able to do that with Kay Vessa's blaster. The second thing is, Kay Vess doesn't appear to have anything that you can do to her. I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen cosmetic changes. Because the first thing I would do is get rid of that jacket. That jacket has no tactical value. It doesn't even fit her. So in a firefight, that thing will restrict her movement somewhat and she'll be shot dead. So yeah, get rid of the jacket, put something else on. Maybe body armor. Everybody else is wearing it. Maybe she should too.
Just because he got a bigger boat, he thinks he can take up the whole river. Get out of the way, jackass!
Now I've talked space already. So let's talk about how we get around in space, and the thing we get around space in. The Trailblazer, for any nerds out there, is an EML 850 light freighter. It also bears a lawsuit level of similarity to the shuttles from the Mass Effect series. So let's talk Millennium Falcon. What Star Wars did with that ship was genius. They make it more than just a piece of metal with some engines on it that hoiks the team from one side of the galaxy to the other while occasionally getting shot at. They make the Millennium Falcon a character. It made noises. It squeaked. Han Solo knows where to hit it, how to speak to it, things to kick, ways to talk to the ship that will get the best out of it. And it seems to respond with all of these physical encouragements. And if it was ever to get scratched, you feel the pain, you go, oh no, not to the beautiful Falcon. And it became an iconic ship because of that, not just because of the film it was in. You loved it, and I loved it, and it was great. If they can do the same thing to the Trailblazer, meaning your character might love it, but if you don't, that ship means nothing to you. Like nothing. It has to mean something to you in order to be important. I want it to be like the jackdaw out of Assassin's Creed. When we first get it, it can just be a hunk of metal that only just makes it from point A to point B. Much like the jackdaw was a piece of wood that only just floated. It didn't have a crew, didn't have guns, didn't have anything. But by the end of it, you've built it up to be the legend of the seas. And that's what I want the Trailblazer to become. I want you to be able to upgrade turrets and towers. I want to be able to give it abilities so when you are in combat, which by the way needs to be good in space, Because if you don't love that, if you don't like that bit of it, it just turns again into a Starfield ship where you just look at it and you go, not mine. Oh, alright. They don't mean anything to you in that game. So yeah, I want that.
This is the end. My only friend, the end.
And that concludes my 7 things I want to see in Star Wars Outlaws on release. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Are there things that you want to see in there that might not be? Or is there things that might go in there that you don't want to see? Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I must say, thank you for watching. Alright, bye.
Actually, there is one thing.
Well, that feels good to have got done. I'm not gonna lie, it's taken me a long time to do that. Like a long time. I've had 2 haircuts in the time it's taken me to put this together, and that's no joke. Anyway, yes, I do plan on making more videos like this. So as a first attempt, this one will have issues, like sound, camera will be all over the place, lighting will be a bit flaky, as well as some other stuff, I know, but I will do it, I will improve, and yeah, thank you for watching.